Was it the time you did the audio for me that was quite laggy?
I think now should be okay.
Mm-mm. Alright. Hi everyone. Oh, X and G is here already. Wow. You are one of the first people here today. Good job. You're one of the first people here today. I'm just gonna wait for quite a few more people to join before we begin. Hey there, how was your day going today? Today, I would say it's better than like the past few days because today is less sleepy. Because I remember like the last 2 days have been super cold, and today it's only starting to get slightly better. Like it was a bit cold when it rained just now, but then now it's better. So my day is a lot better. And I found out a very nice store downstairs that actually sells amazing herfun. So I'm very happy about that. How's your day going, XMG? That's a very long answer from my side. How's your day going? Right. So we wait for XNG to tell us about their day. We are going to go through really quickly what we're going to do. What is going on? What we're going to do today. Alright. Today we will be going through we went through one composition yesterday. I think it was a few days ago. And so today we will be going through another composition. We are gonna do exactly what we did last session, where we go through a composition and then we analyze the introductions used and the endings used. Okay. Last session we rewrote another introduction ourselves. This week we're gonna do the same for a different piece, and we're also gonna learn how to rewrite our endings, um, to write more effective endings and introductions. Okay, but first we are going to go through this composition. All right. Hi Oreo N. Felix Youngbook Lee. Again, every single session. Hi everyone, welcome to the live. I see people like flooding in suddenly. Is it like dinner time and then everyone's just like, looking for something to watch while they eat? Alright, let's begin, okay? This composition is called Animal Abuse. And yeah, we're going to start right now. Okay. I groaned as I trudged my way home. The soccer practice today was my tongue, grueling and torturous. My legs felt like lead now. As I passed by the neighborhood playground, my attention riveted on a group of two boys and a sobbing young girl. Okay? Okay. That's the first paragraph and the introduction. Okay, we'll analyze this passage as an introduction later, but for now let's analyze the writing techniques used. Okay. Okay, we're going to use orange. Okay, I groaned as I trudged. Okay, trudged is a word. What does trudged mean? Okay, so that's the vocab part of what we're gonna do today. See these? I'm gonna highlight these words so you guys can take note of them as I start going through. You guys know what we're talking about. Alright. You're saying I trudged. When you're saying that someone trudged, you mean someone is walking slowly. Walking slowly and heavily, okay? So it's usually used to describe someone who's probably very, very tired. They had a really, really tough day. Or maybe let's say you just finished your sports day, a competition, and your legs are tired. You feel like you just want to go to bed. You're just tired. You are sweaty, and so you trudge home. Okay, you're walking slowly. There's a certain weight to your steps. Okay, this is essentially what it means. Okay, The soccer practice today was grueling, okay? Now this word means extremely tiring, okay? So it kind of backs up what the last oh my voice, my throat. The last phrase. So it all adds on to the idea. It all contributes to the idea that, the narrator was extremely tired and oh, someone followed. Thank you.
Sarah Infinity.
Sarah Infinity followed. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope learning from us helps you to benefit your grades, and you will do well in your exams. Okay, extremely tiring and demanding. Okay, and torturous means if something that feels exceedingly lengthy, complex, or uncomfortable. So like really, really uncomfortable. Okay, don't have much space between the gaps, right? But alright, you guys get what I mean. So it's very important to paint a picture. And when I say paint a picture, I don't mean heap on a whole ton of descriptions and describe something like you would describe a scene, okay? Right now, the image we're painting is not is an image describing how tired the narrator is, how uncomfortable he is, how much he wants to be home. And so the words we're using, they are all effectively contributing to that. See, we have the word trudged, we have grueling, we have torturous, okay? And these words all mean or refer to a situation where someone feels really heavy, someone feels really tired, and someone feels like everything is exceedingly complex or it is just uncomfortable in general, okay? And then you have the idiom, not idiom, the simile, my legs felt like lead. Like lead, right? Okay, so now this is usually you're saying something that's very hard, something's very tough, okay? So you can essentially say that this narrator's legs felt so almost unmovable, it's just there, So it kind of describes stiffness, okay? So which kind shows, okay, hold on, let's highlights how tired the narrator is, okay? So we're always doing our best to contribute that main idea, okay? Throughout your composition, whether it's a small sub main idea that describes a character, describes leading up to a situation, you're always focusing on something. And when you and this thing that you're focusing on should be in your planning. And okay, I'm gonna describe that later. I feel like it's in the middle of the nowhere right now if I were to describe it. All right. Essentially, okay, I'm just gonna write this down first. Now start. It's intro, rising, action. I've been through this before, but I'm just gonna highlight it again so what I just said makes a bit more sense. Okay, so I mentioned just now that when you're writing a composition, you want to always be focused on something, whether it's a subtopic or the main idea. Okay, and the best way to make sure you're always on task is through this planning. Okay, so at Writers at Work, we always advocate for students to use like this structure. Okay, this structure. So you should see, as you can see from the way I draw graphs, I'm not a very good math student. Alright, so we have intro, rising action, climax, and following action, and end, okay? So when you're writing a composition, you want to have thorough planning, like intro, how is something beginning? Rising action, what leads to the main event? Climax, what is the main topic of the entire story? Following action, how does this slowly come to an end? And how does it end off? How does the story end off, okay? You want to have this gradualness in your story, not something erupt, okay? And you want to have a consistent focus. So for each of these, you're gonna have a main focus, such as focus 1, focus to, and they're going to be similar to each other. You're going to be relevant to each other, okay? But it's so important to remain focused to the titles or the main plan that you have here, okay? Because that is eventually going to be what leads you to write a good composition and what helps you to finish on time. All right? Okay, let's move on. All right. Hi, Marinas. Hi, Nick. I feel like I'm not pronouncing some names correctly. Hi, Bunny. Hi, everyone. Alright, so then we're gonna move on. As I passed by the neighborhood playground, my attention riveted, okay? Okay, what does this word mean? Does anyone know? Let's see who is in the live. X and G is still here. X and G, do you know what riveted means? Hi, Shikin. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so scared I'm gonna say someone's name wrong. Someone's gonna get offended. Alright, okay. I think X and G might be a little busy. Okay, so we're gonna be nice and give everyone the answer. Riveted means absorbed. How? In terms of attention, okay? So, and you can see that from over here. My attention riveted on a group of boys. So it kind of like your attention was taken, your attention fell on a group of boys, okay? And a sobbing young girl. When you say someone is sobbing, they're not just crying, they're crying very noisily and they're just very, very upset, okay? It's a more specific way of describing, someone crying, okay? You want to make the most of your descriptions, you want to make the most of each word you're writing by using good vocab so that you can more effectively contribute to the picture you're painting, okay? Okay, then we have the next paragraph, right? The boys were taunting and poking a small black kitten with a stick and some pebbles. The little girl stood at the side, tears streaming down her cheeks. Please don't hurt her, she pleaded meekly. She's just a kitten. The poor kitten was shuddering in fear as it shot furtive glances around, hoping for an escape route. It meowed piteously and tried to scurry back to its owner, alright? Okay. When you say someone was taunting someone else or an animal, wait, it typically means it typically means that they are provoking or they are intending to or provoking someone in an insulting manner. Okay, that's what it means. Hi, Pauline. Welcome to the live. I feel like everyone has been very busy these days. How has everyone been since the March holidays ended? How has everyone been since the March holidays ended? Sad? Is everyone sad after the March holidays ended? I remember I hated it. Okay, no, actually no. When I was back in school, the first few days when the holiday ends is fun because you get to see your friends and you get to brag about what you did. You get to say, oh, I went overseas. Where did you go? Or you can, gossip about something that happened, complain to your friends about something that happened, and kind of, just gather again, hang out again. But then, the life is lagging. Alright, no, it's okay. No, it's okay. Alright, yeah, you get to discuss all this with your friends. But then, after a few days have passed, you're gonna start doing homework again. Everything's back to normal, and then everything starts getting sad. Hi, Jello. How, Alicia? Am I pronouncing that right? Alicia? Alright. Okay. And poking a small black kitten with a stick and some pebbles. At the end of this, I'm gonna tell you guys because I actually had a similar experience as this composition. So we're gonna do a bit of a story time at the end, and you guys can hear me yap for a bit. Alright. She pleaded meekly. When you say someone pleaded meekly, you mean that someone is making a very emotional appeal, okay? They're not just saying, please, can I do this? Please, can I have that? Or you please stop that? Or please, can we do that? It is more emotional. It's more of begging, you know? You're more, and it's more extreme, okay? Meekly refers to, oh, we're a bit out of space. Meekly refers, hi Calvin, refers to a manner of which is submissive, okay? So essentially, you're not being very dominant. You're not being very forward and saying, "I want this immediately." You're saying, "Please, can we do this?" You know, it's more of a you are at someone else's mercy, okay? And that really there's a very good choice, an effective choice of wording, because right now, as we can see, the little girl is at the mercy of these bullies over here, and she is begging for the kitten, okay? She's just a kitten. You see, we can see exactly what's going on from the clear dialogue. The dialogue isn't dragging out the story. It's not being counterproductive in that way. It is moving the story along and highlighting exactly the information that we want to know, okay? The poor kitten was shuddering in fear. Okay, when you say the kitten was shuddering in fear, you mean that something is trembling uncontrollably. Okay? And this is usually due to fear or anxiety. Okay? So there's a lot of stress, and that's usually the reason why, okay? Shuddering in fear. Okay, we have it highlighted right over here. See, they do tell us that it's fear, okay? It shot furtive glances around. Okay, when you say something shot, okay? The word shot, you're usually when you say shot, you think of a gun, okay? Something is gonna rapid fire, you know? So in this way, you're actually painting a very your very detailed image, okay? Very specific image, because when you use the word shot, okay, shot, we know what shot means. The word furtive refers to secretive, sneaky glances, and this word is associated to guilt, okay? To guilt, a bit of fear, okay? She shot furtive glances around, okay? The kitten shot furtive glances around. So the kitten is not openly looking. It is very carefully, like, trying to, like, you know, not let the boy see that she's asking for help. Okay? So you're not just writing something, you're painting a very visual image of someone quickly and secretly looking around. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, it's a very you can literally see it before you can imagine the kitten trying to avoid the gaze of the boys, but she's also trying to beg for help with her eyes. Okay, and hoping for an escape route. Okay, escape route, we know what that means. It's a route that you're gonna use to escape. And it's pretty self-explanatory. It meowed. Okay, when you say this is an onomatopoeia, we've gone through this before. Okay, it's when a sound is a word imitates the sound that the subject is making. In this case, oh, thank you so much for the likes. Is it Matt Saha? Saja? How do you pronounce your name? But thank you so much for the likes. Mariah Carey is here. Mariah is here. Hi, Mariah. How was your day? It's today the first day of school. It's the first day of school for them, right? It's the first day of school. It's the first day of school for you. How was your first day of school back from the March holidays? Was it really, really tiring? Tiring. There's so many people joining the live, and I don't know how to pronounce any of their names. But to be fair, these names are all, they don't make much sense. My English WA is in a week. Oh, I see. I see. Should practice with us then. What are your main weaknesses now, Mariah, when it comes to this assessment? Is there anything that you would like help with? Hi, Pistachio. I'm just gonna call you Pistachio. Hi, Pistachio. Welcome to the live. I haven't seen you in quite a bit. How are you doing? How are you doing? Pistachio, do you have any exams as well? We can all go through what we need help with right now, really, really quickly. Hi, Yvonne. I used to have a classmate called Yvonne. Imagine if it was the same Yvonne. That would be kind of funny. Not good, boss. Why? What's wrong? Is that exams? Exams always... We can only sigh. Term... Oh, okay. So it's also a Compo issue as well, huh? Are you in primary 6 as well, like Mariah? Are you guys classmates? I think for composition, it's honestly, you can learn a lot of words, you can do a lot of reading, but ultimately, all of this is not going to be as effective if you don't practice, okay? Teacher 55 minutes, like, my little timer. Mariah is the teacher's little timer. Mariah always tells me when my class is ending or how many minutes I have left. But yeah, for writing, a lot of practice. Practice using those synonyms that you're learning. Practice those techniques your teachers are teaching you. Practice those writing structures. Okay. Practice planning a story. A lot of students they understand how important it is to plan their story, but the thing is that they don't practice it, so they leave. They practice. They think they know everything about planning just because they know that in theory, planning is important and this is the way we plan. However, I can tell you that with nerves, when you feel nervous, planning is gonna feel very different. So it's very, very important to start planning and actually know how to do planning, not just for one type of composition, but for all your different possible teams, okay? It's very, very important. Please practice, okay? Actually, as a student, what I found the most tough was always introductions and endings. So we're gonna go through that today. So and hopefully it will help you too, okay? And any of the viewers who are doing the assessment soon, okay? So stick around to the end, and we're going to go through that right after this composition. Okay. As it shot furtive glances, hoping for an escape. Where was I? Oh, it's an automatosphere, and this word refers to expressing sadness / suffering. Okay. Okay, now, so it's kind of like a plea for help, okay? Again, adds to the story, and try to scurry back to its owner, okay? So we now know that the little girl is the owner, so that means scurry and moved hurriedly in short, quick steps, okay? Hi, Pauline. Hi, News. Hi, PJY. Hi, Nick. See a lot of new faces. Alright. Not so fast, one of the boys sniggered as he grabbed the squirming kitten by the scruff of its neck. Let's have some fun. He tossed the kitten at his friend, who then tied some empty cans to the kitten's tail. I could not stand it anymore, okay? So when you say not so fast, you are also, it's not just a dialogue that, kind of links one paragraph to another. You're also giving a bit of a foreshadowing of what's going to happen. So the reader, you're kind of moving your story forward. Thank you so much for sharing the live, Pistachio. Thank you. Hope you and your friends can all come here and learn together. Alright. When you say not so fast, you're showing that there's going to be some action later on. There's going to be some sort of a face-off, some sort of a confrontation, okay? Teacher 51 minutes left. Oh my goodness. Alright. So when you say sniggered, sniggered, you mean that you're laughing in a scornful way. And sometimes you mean that you're laughing slash half suppressed. So it's more of a menacing like kind of laughter. Screenshot, definitely later. Definitely, for sure. Okay. And he grabbed the squirming kitten. Okay. Mariah, question. Do you revisit your screenshots and use the screenshots in your composition when you're writing your composition? Or do you just like read it? Okay, because this was a mistake that I did personally when I was in school, okay? Yes, as in which one? You revisit and practice when you're rewriting your compositions. I write it. Okay, that's good. Okay, because I remember for a period of time, and this is not just with English, with other subjects. As a student, I would write down a lot of notes during class, but I would not revisit them. Okay, the thing about that is that it stayed in my mind for the first week or first few days, and then it was as if I never learned it. Okay, now with that is not the most effective because number one, actually studies have shown that you do end up forgetting a lot of things because these things that you learn are only in your short-term memory, and for them to be in your long-term memory, for you to actually have a good impression of them and retain them for the long term, you have to do practice. Okay, you have to revisit these information, you have to practice it, you have to regurgitate it. When I say regurgitate, I mean you spit it out and see how much you know, and then after that fill in the blanks again. Okay, I read it over and over. Yes, that is so important. But another tip for you is one of the best ways to make sure you remember is to put it in context. Okay, when I say practice, I don't mean like, you know how when you make a spelling error in your Chinese 听写 and your teacher makes you rewrite it over and over again? Yeah, that would help you with your spelling, that would help you with a bunch of stuff. But when you're learning how to use and incorporate synonyms or these kind of words in your composition, it is about contextualizing them, adapting them to fit your story again and again. These are the things that will help you truly remember what you've learned, and to make sure that you will think of these things, these words will actually be at the tip of your fingertips when you're in the exam. Teacher, when are you teaching French? When I start learning French. I will attempt to teach French. Okay? I will attempt to teach French. However, Mariah, I remember you also saying, hey, will you teach Chinese? I won't teach Chinese, but teacher Yahweh and I will be starting to do some content in Chinese on our other platform, Written Note, or what you guys know as 小红书, okay? You guys can go over there to take a look as well. Most of the content is in Chinese, so it's a good way of learning English while also practicing your Chinese if you want to see it that way, okay? So do give us a bit of attention over there as well, okay? And then we can try to help you as much as possible. Okay, where was I? Squirming. There we go. Squirming when you're saying something is moving. Please don't tell me the account name is in Chinese. Okay, the account name, unfortunately, Writers at Work, we don't have a Chinese name, okay? So our account is still Writers at Work, but it would be on a Chinese platform, okay? So you can try to take a look. Okay, what was I saying? Moving or twisting. And awkward. Oh my goodness, spelling error. Awkward. Wriggling way. Due to discomfort, okay? So we can see from this word that the kitten is not only scared, it is also clearly very uncomfortable, okay? and we can see why, because it explains that it was being held by the scruff of its neck. Now, when you say the scruff of a neck, you usually refer to the back of the neck, right over here. I don't know if you guys can see, right over here. So you know when like kittens get picked up by their moms, they don't carry them like humans carry their babies. They grab them by their neck and they just walk away with them like that. So that is the scruff of its neck, the exact place where they grab them. Okay, so the kitten is basically not able to do anything except just dangle there because it's being held by the scruff of its neck, so it's squirming. Okay, let's have some fun. Okay, so it gives us that sense of premonition. When I say sense of premonition, the word means that the bad feeling that something bad is gonna happen. Okay, let's have some fun. It's a very foreboding word because it's suggesting that the boys are gonna do something mean to the kitten. Why is teacher Misuko not speaking in Chinese? Teacher Misuko says because she don't speak Chinese. She doesn't speak Chinese.
That's why.
That's why. It's not because teacher Misuko doesn't want to speak Chinese, because she can't speak Chinese. It's like how it's not that I don't want to speak French, it's that I cannot speak French. But we can always learn. We can always try to learn, but we will. No promises. Alright. He tossed the kitten. Okay, this shows how cruel the boys are, because when you say toss, you mean that it's very dismissive. Okay, you're throwing something in a casual. My goodness. In a casual or light manner. Okay, you simply do not care. Okay, and his friend who then tied some empty cans to a kitten's tail. Okay, that's really really mean. Okay, I could not stand it anymore. Now I want you guys to put your focus on this phrase. I could not stand it anymore. See, now you don't have to have a long detailed sentence to make your point. Of course, you have to have some in your story, but I'm not saying it's the only way to make your point. See this small sentence, I could not stand it anymore. Okay, it is not long, it is not overly descriptive, but it's straight to the point. You need that variety in your composition. You need long sentences that show teachers that you know sophisticated words, you know sophisticated sentence structures, but you also need short sentences to show teachers that I know how to command my readers. I know how to engage my readers. And that's the thing about short sentences. When used correctly, they can bring the point of your story, like condense it straight and make it more impactful, okay? Over here it says, I could not stand it anymore. This sentence alone, even though it's short, it suggests that some confrontation is going to happen. It foreshadows and builds up to the next sentence, next paragraph. Okay, so we can see in the next paragraph that it starts immediately with a confrontation. Stop that immediately. Okay, there's no like intense description. It is just straight to the point. You stop that immediately. He is speaking right to the bullies. I straightened my back and boomed in my loudest voice. Okay, it's very heavy on this. It's not that heavy on description, but it's very intense and effective descriptions. What languages does teacher Misuko speak? I will let teacher Misuko answer that. Okay? Okay, where are we? Stop that immediately. I straightened my back and boomed. Okay, when you say someone boomed, what does that mean? Okay, when you say someone boomed, you mean a deep, resonant sound. Okay, when you say resonant, you mean very clear, very very loud. It's something that reverberates through the air. Okay, something that's very impactful. Okay, so he is this author, this narrator is trying to set his presence. I am standing up for the kitten. None of you guys can touch the kitten. I will protect the kitten. Okay, I'm going to report you. Okay, very commanding language. I'm going to report you. I'm not warning you. I'm telling you that I'm going to report you. The group of boys merely cast a nonchalant glance. Okay, so this contrast. Teacher, do you know everyone at least speaks one language? I did not know that. Wow, I did not know that.
Consider a language if no one understands you.
Ooh.
Right. What Not a single one.
Oh, okay. Teacher Miss Suko brought up something very interesting. Is it still considered a language if I understand myself but nobody else does? That's a very, very interesting and philosophical question. My take is that the basis of language is that it helps open communication, and if you are not able to meet that main requirement and it's not able to fulfill that purpose, it is not considered a language. That is my take. Okay, everyone.
Agree. Otherwise, you'd have to put in the effort first to teach people, and at least get one person to understand you. Then we can talk again.
That's why language is so important, because it helps you to understand so many different people, and different people give you different opportunities.
Was like
Oh, Teacher Misuko's response was muted. Filtered. So. Okay. We know what this word means. We've gone through it multiple times, but I'm just gonna write it down so you guys can have a bit of a review. It means something is casual. Oh goodness, I keep writing casual wrong today. Casual and what happened to my left? So casual and uncaring. Okay, so it simply does not care. We'll review them tomorrow. Okay. Merely cast. When you say something merely, it's like simply. Okay. So the boys do not care. They very obviously do not care. See, you have that massive contrast between I'm going to report you. Is that the author is setting down such a heavy stance. It is not threatening. It is not warning. It is telling them. Okay. But then the boys in response are nonchalant. They do not care. Okay, it shows their attitude not only towards the author but towards this morals, this everything that the author is trying to say right here. Okay, in my direction, and burst into laughter. They not only don't care about her, they are mocking the author. See, so they're really painting a very negative image about the bullies. It's very, very important, that contrast over there. Okay. Teacher Jia, how can you create a language? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. And I suppose that there is
butcher other languages.
Yeah, Teacher Masuka says you butcher other languages.
But that's basically how other languages came to be.
That's how
they evolved it.
Yes, that is true. That is true. I often make jokes. Because my parents and we love watching Korean drama together. And I think we know that you see in the Korean dramas that when they're writing, all the words are actually Chinese. When it comes to like olden times, all their writings actually in Chinese. And I was just joking with my parents the other day how it is very, very funny that I would not survive in modern Korea, but I would probably survive in ancient Korea because I understand Chinese. So language evolves. That's our takeaway.
It's amazing, right?
It is. It is.
Japanese and Chinese.
It is. It is amazing. And I thought Mon Lives are Teacher Jamie's. Oh, I don't know. Are they?
Very busy
Teacher Jamie's very busy. Very, very busy. Hi, Ozil. Alright. Fortunately, a policeman on patrol happened to pass by, okay? He heard the commotion and came to investigate. We know commotion. We know what commotion means because our teachers often tell us, teachers in school, they always say, what is this commotion? What is the commotion, okay? What is the commotion about? Teachers used to say that to me when I would play with my friends, and I would make a lot of noise. Okay, it means noisy disturbance. Teacher, you betrayed me. You said you didn't have lives until my birthday. Okay, it is also partially because Teacher Jamie's is so busy that I have done this live, and which is good. I'm happy to see all of you. We're giving Teacher Jamie some time to rest. But I will still be doing a live on your birthday, Mariah. Your birthday is on the 28th, I remember. Is that right? It's on the 28th. It's on the 28th. But I think I will be doing 1 or 2 lives before that, this included. So yeah, I'll just get to see you guys more often. Hi, Itsy Daisy. Welcome to the live. I haven't seen Itsy Daisy in like 1 or 2 sessions. Hi, Itsy Daisy. How are you doing? Itsy Daisy, do you happen to have an exam coming up, just like Mariah and... What's the name? Oh my goodness. Pistachio. There we go. Pistachio. Hi. I remember Itsy Daisy because of that very, very cute British short hair that she has in her profile. I absolutely love British short hairs. I currently have a hamster, but we are thinking of getting a cat, and we are thinking of a British short. I am thinking of a British short hair, but my parents are unfortunately not that content with getting a British short hair. Okay, and came to investigate. When you say someone investigates, you mean you carry out a formal inquiry. Okay, so you can say that a police investigated something, so the police has the right to carry out something formal, formal investigation. Or you can say, let's say you are doing a science research and then you write, this research intends to investigate. Okay, that's also a formal debate, a formal inquiry made on a certain subject. Okay, so this is the word reprimanded. Okay, let's go through this paragraph. It's the last paragraph, right? The policeman reprimanded the boys and made them apologize to the little girl and me. The boys hung their heads in shame when they realized their mistake. Okay, the policeman also commended me for my bravery and standing up for justice. I accompanied the little girl home and she could not thank me enough for coming to her aid. I continued on my way home in high spirits, my previous weariness all wiped away with pride in myself. Okay? Now, let's start with the word reprimanded. Teacher, I'm shaking in my boots. Could PSLE is in like 5 months. Oh my goodness. It is in 5 months. It is so... The year has passed. It has been passing so fast. I remember when I first celebrated my birthday this year and I was like, oh my goodness, it's 2025. And then now we are in March. March is ending. Oh my goodness. I wish you all the best, Mariah, but if you are practicing and putting as much attention in your other subjects as you are in English, I think you will be fine, okay? I think you will absolutely be fine. However, it also means that you should not like just become lax, because one of the biggest mistakes I remember some of my friends made was doing so well at the start of the year, and I feel like, you know what, I'm ahead of everyone. You know what, I am going to relax. I have the ability, I am in a position where I can relax, okay? Oh, OMG, and oh my goodness. Hi, is it Blabber? Blabber? I'm gonna call you Blab. Okay. Prelims is in 4 months, right? Okay. Don't take prelims as too much of a pressure, okay? Remember that prelims is a great way to see where you're at, okay? Right before the exam, okay? Even if you're doing well in your prelims, it does not mean that you should slack before your PSLE. Please revise before your PSLE, okay? Even if you're doing well in your prelims. If you're not doing well in your prelims, do not feel upset, do not feel too stressed out, because high stress can be counterproductive for some people. For example, for me, high stress, I don't work well under high stress, but some people can, you know, always exceptions. So I would say just focus on your studies. Do not, try your best not to be stressed. I know that's really hard, but just try your best. Are you Korean? Am I Korean? No, I'm not Korean. I am not. I am Singaporean. Alright. Where was I? Reprimanded. Alright, reprimanded. It means also a formal expression. My goodness. Formal. But this is not the first time someone has asked me that question. But I feel like there is quite a bit of similarities. Quite a bit of similarities when it comes to looks. So, I mean, honest mistake. Of disapproval, okay? Formal expression of disapproval, okay? So you're saying that a police reprimanded the boys, a teacher reprimanded the boys, parents reprimanded the boys, okay? All possible. And made them apologize. You know what apologize means? To the little girl and me. The boys hung their heads in shame, okay? Now we want to put some emphasis on this word, okay? When you say someone hangs their heads in shame, okay? In shame. You're painting a very distinct picture of someone literally hanging their heads, okay? Um, okay, it means, okay, I'm gonna write it here. It means that someone is shameful. Is shameful, okay? Someone is shameful, and there's also highlighted here, shameful or apologetic, okay? They're sorry for something they did, okay? And this paints a vivid picture, okay? Okay, because it is symbolic, that it symbolizes how apologetic someone is, that they're literally hanging their head in shame, or the fact that they're hanging their head in shame shows a very dejected posture, okay? Shows that even physically they are expressing their apology, okay? Paints a vivid picture of dejectedness and shamefulness. Hello, Pauline Lee. Welcome to the live. We only have 400 likes today. Come on, guys. Let's try to get up to 1K at least. At least 1K. I remember the best we did was 4K? Alright. When they realized their mistake, the police also commended me. It will be all me. It's always all you, Mariah. And we are so thankful for that. We are so thankful for that. Also commended me for the live, okay? For the live? Oh my goodness. For my bravery, okay? When you say commended, you mean someone's praising you. And me also. Praise. Mariah, question. I think it was always you and Charlene. Every single time I'm moderating another teacher's live, you're guys like, Teacher Jia, don't take my number 1 badge. But when Teacher Misuko does it, nobody says, don't take my number 1 badge. Why? Why is that? Why is that? Alright. So praise formally or officially, okay? So it's a more official, more proper, more formal way of saying that someone is praising you, okay? So you can say, I did something good, the police commended me, or someone of a higher authority, or maybe you'd say you are in a, you did well in an exam, okay? That's also definitely works, okay? And standing up for justice, okay? Does it literally mean that you're standing up, okay? No, it does not mean that. You could be sitting, okay? When you say someone is standing up for justice, you're saying they are stepping forward for justice, okay? You're stepping forward. You are making a stand. These are all words and phrases that means that you are contributing to justice. You are putting yourself in a position where you're making the world a better place, okay? I have the number 1 badge. Great job, Mariah. I'm going to get this to 5K. We are already at 1.1. Thank you, Mariah. Alright, so of course there are very different ways that you can always use these kind of phrases, and they all have the same meaning. You can say standing up for justice, or you could say standing up for justice, that's one. And when you say hang your heads in shame, you can also say they bowed their heads in shame, they lowered their heads in shame, okay? It all means the same thing, okay? But of course, please, 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 in the examination, don't come up with something yourself. Don't come up with something and say, this sounds like an idiom, okay? It will be an idiom. Please don't do that. Please don't take that risk during the exam, okay? There are good official websites that and resources that will give you a nice list of idioms. Writers at Work, I think we do have some resources on that as well online. So always refer to official sources. Please don't make up your own idioms. Call them idioms and expect to get good marks, okay? You're gonna lose marks because of that if you write something that doesn't make sense, essentially, okay? Accompany the little girl, okay? You say accompany, you're saying follow as a companion, okay? So you are following someone. Screenshot, right. I'll let you take a screenshot after I go through the entire compo. Okay, we're gonna take a screenshot paragraph by paragraph. She could not thank me enough. Okay, so it's a very way that's to describe that someone is very, very thankful, or you could say she thanked me profusely. Okay, she thanked me endlessly. Okay, so it's a lot of different ways that you can say that. For coming to her aid, when you're saying coming to someone's aid, it's an idiom that you are helping someone in need. Okay, you're helping someone in need. You came to their rescue. Okay, so it's a different way of saying that. I continued my way home in high spirits. So when you say high spirits, you don't say, it doesn't mean that your spirits are literally flying. But, well, I mean, you can write it as well. I continue on my way home, my spirits soaring. Okay, that's a way of saying it as well. It also means that you are cheerful. This pen is lagging. Oh my goodness. Cheerful or enthusiastic. Okay. Energetic. Okay. You can use it when you say you did something good and someone commended you, or someone did something nice for you, someone gave you a gift and your spirits were soaring. Okay, you can always use it in that way. Weariness. Okay, weariness means extreme fatigue, extreme tiredness. Okay, all wiped away. Okay, when you say wiped away, is you can see that visual image of it literally being, it's as if the fatigue was just cleaned away, very instantaneous. It wasn't like a gradual regain of energy. It was as if they were wiped away with pride in myself. Okay, so very, very nice, very, very effective way of rounding up your composition. Okay. Okay, screenshot time. Screenshot time. Okay, I'm gonna include like the little plan I had over here so you guys can see, but the screen is a bit. Would it be possible for the camera to be panned a little bit over here, because the iPad has a bit of a limit, so I cannot show it completely. Let's see. Could we pan the phone a bit? It's a bit out of frame.
For TikTok.
Yeah, it's a bit out of frame, just slightly out of frame, and I cannot zoom in. All right, Mariah, you can screenshot
Okay.
as the one you like. All right, thank you. All right, Mariah, you can screenshot. Everyone else, please take a screenshot if you need. It's a good way to revise. Okay, it's essentially your digital notes. Okay. Okay, second and third paragraph. 2K, thank you so much for 2K, Mariah. Well, and everyone else, and Miss Masuko, everyone who contributed to the live. Alright, so I'm trying to zoom in as much as I can. Okay, there we go. Okay. And then fourth and fifth. No, it was all me. Okay. So we have the last two paragraphs. Do you have any vacancy at your company? I just saw that. Ooh. Alright, I think the moderator has written it for you that you can check the careers page on our website. So yeah, you can always give that a check. Alright, I'm hoping that you guys are all done with your screenshots. Okay. Now I'm going to rewind back to the last session a bit, and I'm gonna go through the introduction part again, okay? And we're gonna write introduction for this, and then we're gonna write an ending, okay? let's see what we went through the last session. Okay, the last session I told you, I went through with everyone that I went through 4 different types of introductions. Okay, of course there are more, and you can use whatever is comfortable with you. But I just want to go through these because these were not screenshots. These were introductions that I used when I was a student, and they did help a lot. Okay, it's good to have like that list that you can choose from. Okay, number 1 is scene description. You start off with describing the scene. Like I mentioned, do not describe a scene that has nothing to do with your story. If your story is indoors, let's say something that happened in school, something that happened in the classroom, please do not go and describe the sun. Please do not go and describe the school pond. It has nothing to do with your story, okay? However, if let's say your story happened at a beach that we like the composition we went through where the author's friend got stung, you can describe the sun. This happened under the sun. You can describe the sun, okay? If it would happen indoors, like the canteen, please describe the canteen. You can describe the canteen of how messy it was, how rowdy the students were. And it's also a great way to start. Okay, so, screenshot? Oh no, it was the screenshot just now. The screen. You took a screenshot. Remember, Mariah? All right. So secondly, we have overview. Okay, overview. It simply means you have a small overview of what happens in your story. Okay, like this one. So I'm going to go through this really quickly, okay? This was a composition about an unpleasant encounter in the canteen, okay? So this is a very quick overview. Today, while Jensen was having his recess, he had an unpleasant encounter with an extremely polite girl. They nearly ended up in a fight in school. It just gives enough for you to know what's going to happen, but not enough for you to know the whole story based on the introduction. Because in that way, your reader has no reason to read forward, alright? Proverbs or quotes, okay? I wrote one for you guys in a small example. Treat others the way you would like to be treated. This was something Jensen never thought much about until that very moment, okay? So you are giving a bit of a hint, a bit of a foreshadow of what's going on. Teacher, 20 minutes. That's why we have to be quick, okay? We have quite some content to go through, okay? Okay, that is the Proverbs quote. Also, you can also write it in a different way where you're writing it as a looking back or flashback or a lesson, okay? Of course, like I mentioned before, when you're writing these, the 4th option, please do not write what you've learned, everything about what you've learned at the top. You can give a small snippet, but remember to not write everything there, because with this kind of compositions, you want to end off your story saying what you've learned, okay? You don't want to repeat that twice, okay? That becomes redundant, okay? We've learned that word before. Redundant means not necessary, not required, okay? Not needed. And for this, I gave you guys an example, was the importance of courtesy was not something Jensen had previously considered until he found himself in that disadvantageous situation. In that moment, he realized the importance of treating others the way he would like to be treated, okay? It shows the main message, but there's definitely something more specific that you can talk about in the ending. You can say that Jensen realized how unhappy he was when the girl cut his cue. And you can say that he promised himself that he would never do that to someone else, okay? So it's something more specific. Oh no, my phone is at 0.5%. Can your phone be at 0.5%? I don't think... What phone are you using? Alright? These are the options, okay? And then now we're going to do an ending, okay? Over here we see the beginning. I groaned as I trudged my way home. The soccer practice was grueling and torturous. My legs feel like lead now, okay? This is the beginning and how we're going to end this story, okay? Note that this story is about animal abuse, okay? I'm going to go to a blank page, okay? Now we're going to go through really quickly different types of endings there are, okay? We can choose one and we're going to write it really quickly, okay? We have barely a few minutes. Okay. Number 1. Can everyone see my screen? It's a bit laggy, isn't it? Okay, number 1. There we go. You guys can see. I'm gonna write it thicker so you guys make sure you guys can see. Okay, number 1. Oh, that is very thick. Number 1, we have reflective ending. Okay, like this is the one I mentioned. Why is he mad? It's just cutting Q. someone someone commented that when I was going through that composition as well, okay? I mean, maybe it might not mean that much to you, but I mean, it's something you can write about, okay? And you want to exaggerate a little bit. Teacher, 15 minutes left. I know, stress. All right? Reflective ending, it means you reflect on the lesson and how they have changed, okay? Number 2, circular ending, okay? Which means that you link back to the beginning, okay? You're saying you end it in a similar way of how it's created. Now, you mostly do that no matter how you end your ending, but this one happened, it's a bit more specific in the sense that, let's say, you started your composition when you are walking back home, okay? And then on your way home, you see something happen, like this story. You end your story off when you continue walking back home. But in this situation, you've learned something new. So it's kind of like this story when Jensen, in this case, after the whole event, he continues walking home, except that he is accompanying the girl. He probably has now found a new friend and learned a very important lesson. Okay, that's a circular ending. It was me that commented it. Now that makes a lot of sense. Okay, 3. You have a very emotional ending. So you focus about your emotions. You really dump those emotions. You say how you felt about the entire situation, okay? Remember to end your story and not just be too fixated on your descriptions, okay? Please be careful with this one, okay? And then you have a dialogue ending, okay? Personally, this one, you might need a little bit more practice, but it is a possible way of ending, okay? So you can end it in such a way of you conclude with a meaningful conversation that reinforces your story's theme, okay? You can end the story with as I got the prize from the minister, I looked at my dad, and my eyes told a million words. In my heart, I said to him, Dad, I could not have done this without you. So it's kind of like that kind of last dialogue, that last speech, okay? You can end it that way, okay? So these are the 4 that I want to really focus on, okay? And then we're going to write one really quickly, and that's going to be the end of the live today, okay? So as we can see from our composition, that it's a lot about abuse, okay? How did this composition end? It ended with the policeman reprimanding the boys, okay? And make them apologize to the little girl and me, okay? We're gonna add an ending to this, okay? So we are going to choose reflective ending, okay? This is one of my favorite, okay? Because you can never really go too wrong with it with enough practice, of course, okay? Okay, we're gonna start writing. I'm gonna give you guys all 5 minutes to write. 5 minutes a bit long. 2 minutes to write it. Okay, everyone can write, and then we can all go through it together. I'm gonna write my own. Okay, please don't copy mine. Teacher, 10 minutes left. Okay. I'm almost done with my passage. Mariah, are you done with your ending? Okay. Now I am done with my passage. If anyone wants for me to review their passage for them, you guys can send it in the comments, okay? If it's too long, you guys can submit it in 2 parts, but remember that it's very important to not make your ending too lengthy, okay? Please be careful about that. Okay, I wrote, this is my passage. After the police and the bullies had left, I continued my journey home. My mind was filled with the image of the poor kitten. It occurred to me that it's possible for us to be caught up with how we feel and subconsciously disregarding the fact that others have emotions too. Thinking back to the day, I vowed to always consider the feelings of others, even if it's just a small kitten on the streets. Alright? So now this is a reflective ending because it reflects on what has happened in the entire story, and it pulls in a bit of a moral ending. Okay, you can pull that in, you can make the moral side of it stronger. Okay, but this is what I chose. Okay, so this is what I wrote, and you guys can take a screenshot if you guys like and adapt it to your compositions. Okay, we also have a lot of other options, a lot of different endings, a lot of different model compositions on our website. You can see our free resources, or if you like a bit more, you can always purchase like our e-products. Okay, so these are all options for you guys now that exam seasons are coming. Highly recommend for you guys to read more, intentionally, look at more model compositions, practice what you have learned from these compositions, and incorporate them in your own writing. Haters always gonna hate. Hi. Sorry, I see a cat profile picture, and I don't know what your name is. I'm gonna call you Rose. Rose is a very pretty girl's name. But yeah. Alright. On the train home, I realized these bullies don't define my future. Moral of the story. I see. This is my ending. Oh, I see. Well, for this ending, the train ride home part is okay. I realized this, but okay, we have to make sure that the ending actually is appropriate for the story. Okay, you can't write an ending that sounds nice but has little to do with the story. Okay, now this story is more about the bullies being mean to a little kitten. You can write about thinking about other people. You can talk about cruelty. You can talk about standing up for other people and that you're proud of yourself for. But it's I wouldn't say it's that much about your future. You can definitely adapt it a bit to make it more appropriate. But I would say, you know what? A start's a start. Okay. Rose, how are you? Rose, do you have your PSLE exams coming up soon? We are at 2.3k. Thank you, everyone, for the likes. That is a lot. That is 1.3k more than my goal at first. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mariah, and thank you for everyone else who liked the video. The live, I mean. It's all me. We have 5 more minutes, so I'm gonna end off this live with a little story that is somewhat similar to this, what is that called? This composition. It's about me when I was in primary school. It's a very off topic. So those who want to hear this last minute story, you guys can just stay and listen, okay? Or if you guys have any questions, you guys can take the time to comment it, and I'll try to answer it as fast as I can, okay? Yeah. So what happened was that I was in school. And at that time, young me really, really loved bugs. I still do, but not as obsessed with it as I was back then. what happened was we were playing in the hard court. No, I think is that what you guys call it right now. We called it that back then. And we were running around playing catch, and there was this. We had this massive tree. Okay, not really massive, but it was massive for us back then. And they always had little caterpillars on it. Okay, it was a butterfly tree. Um, the leaves always looked like little butterflies. Okay, and what happened was that there was this group of boys around that tree, and they were trying to poke the caterpillars down. And as a very strong-minded insect lover back then, even though those boys were like at least 2 grades above me, I remember dragging all my friends there just to tell them to stop. Um, However, unfortunately, they did manage to get one of the baby caterpillars down. And I remember seeing they were pouring water on it just to see how it would react. And we were in disbelief. We had some friends calling teachers over. It was looking back, um, maybe I don't know. It does not seem like it would have been such a memorable thing, but it was for a primary one back then. I remember, but we brought the caterpillar back to our class, and it survived somehow, and it became our first ever class pet. So that is story time for everyone. Story time for everyone. Hi, Bubbles. I see everyone is. Yeah. All right. Wishing everyone well for their PSLE exams, right? Please let me know if you guys have any questions when it comes to composition, or if you guys would like any going through anything specific. Okay, we will be rewriting another introduction, another ending, with my next session, because I feel like that is something that's very, very important. You can have the best content, but if you don't know where to start, you're gonna drag out your time. And I feel like personally, I made that mistake in primary school, and in hindsight, I would definitely have put more practice into my my structure, and as well as my introduction. And I have question. What is question? But yes, Mariah, please ask your question. Please ask your question. But yeah, definitely some tips on introduction practice. Number one, story banking. Right as I word, we always advocate for that. I keep on repeating it over and over again, but that's exactly how important it is. If you've looked at the story composition before, that has a really tips for responses. What do you mean responses? What do you mean responses? Like for composition, or what do you mean responses? Please clarify. AR. Oh, for oral. Okay, I see. For oral, for oral, I say no matter what type you're doing, I feel like what is the most important thing is to become very fluent in responding fast. Okay, one of the biggest things students go through is that they can have all the content prepped, they can have a lot of good words, good phrases under their sleeve, but they freeze up when they're in front of the teacher. That is one of the very big issues that a lot of students face. And I guess you can say that is to do with confidence, to do with nervousness, but one very good way to combat that is practice. I know I keep saying practice, but that is something that is important no matter what subject you're doing, no matter which part of the subject you're doing, no matter what paper you're working on, okay? If I stumble, yeah, exactly, that is very, very common. And but the sad truth is that it does take away marks from your paper. And one way to deal with that is to be able to be confident that you are able to come up with responses fast. That is one part. The second part is to be confident talking to a teacher or your examiner. Okay, now 2 separate ways to deal with that, okay? One for each. When it comes to generating responses fast without stumbling, practice. And how do you practice? When I say practice, I mean taking out a past paper, looking at the questions, and answering it, okay? But when you answer it, don't just answer it, okay? I want you to record yourself. You can record yourself, maybe your parents' phone if you don't have one. and after you say your responses in time conditions, look back. Look back at your, re-listen to what you've said, okay? Did I stumble? Did I overuse a certain phrase? Did I say a lot? Did I say a lot? Okay, these are things that you can practice, okay? And over time, you become very confident with how you speak. And that is a lot more important than you think, okay? When you're confident with how you speak, you will be confident expressing what you have to say. Secondly, when it comes to being confident in front of talking to a teacher, okay? It's very different from being able to talk to yourself in your own room, being able to practice with your parents. It's different. One way to do that, number one, is to revise with your teacher. It is, you can definitely ask your teacher, maybe during recess, teacher, will you be willing to practice with me here and there? I give you a question and then you just hear me yap for a bit. Definitely works. Or sign up for crash courses and tuition where your teachers are willing to, where you have external teachers who sit there and they actually are trained to help you develop those responses. Okay, you're gonna feel the same stress as you would facing any teacher. So it's always good to have a teacher there. It's gonna give you good responses, okay, and not just sit there, okay? So crash courses, tutors, or getting help from your teachers during recess, okay? These are all things that can help you with the second issue that I mentioned. Teacher, you are late. I know I'm 1 minute late, only 1 minute, okay? So I hope this tips helped you guys. But if you guys have any other issues that you guys want help with, do let me know and we can go through it, okay? But for today, we're gonna end off the live right now, okay? And I will see you guys in the next session. Class 10, thank you, class. X and G, you disappeared for the whole time and you're just back now. It's okay. I will see you guys all next session. Bye, everyone.